your brand?
So I do actually branch out. I love whiskey of all different types, but Pendleton's it's like my wife, you know. I love her and she's my go-to.
Right.
So
yeah.
Then, you know. So all right, cool. All right. So I think we're finally ready to play. Hey, cheers, bro. And by the way, guys, best players in the world. I got some delicious Chateau Stomp.
Yes.
Let us know when you finally pop one of those open.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
I want to know if Enos's taste in wine is good.
Red Dragon Crush and Purple Grape Mash.
Oh, dude, those are all great.
Wonderful, wonderful. Each, one for tasting, one for enshrinement, I think was the...
Yeah, this is the plan. And so these three are going to go on my shelf behind me, or my shelf I have up in Castle Ravenloft. And but I did already open one. It's not my fault I didn't tell you, because what happened was my wife got into them not realizing they were special. And I did get to drink my half, but I came home.
Which one was it?
It was luckily it was the Red Dragon Crush.
Yes.
Yeah, so thank you for that. We like that. So so far so good. But tonight feels like a Dr. Pepper and whiskey night. So that's what I'm doing. And we're here for session 25, 25.2. We tried to do session 25. When was the last time we tried to do this? Back in the beginning of October, I think.
Oh, yeah.
I did the count. We've had in the past 8 months 2 sessions. So
that is terrible, and I have failed you as a dungeon master. So sorry.
No, you have not failed.
It's been a crazy,
it was a complete change of careers on your part.
You had a career change and a move, and you're married. Relax.
Thank you, Jim. Well, here's some good news. I am settled in the new house and ready to get back to this and stick with it and see the story all the way through. We will recap because it has been a while, but it's kind of at a place where you guys have pushed the story to a point where effectively the different choices are starting to narrow, right? Like
they are.
Yeah, when we started the adventure in Barovia, you have this whole land of mystery, and I'd say one of the big pivotal moments in this story is when you met Madame Eva, and she read your Taroka deck, and she basically told you about the 3 items that could help you defeat Strahd. And she also had another one, but that was a card that would have told you where you could find Strahd if you need to confront him on your time. And then that card was the mist, and so that means you don't get to do that, which is kind of a bad thing. But you've actually interacted with Strahd in some really unexpected ways. You recently, when you met him last time, our bard Nico Tarada, he actually kind of swore fealty to Strahd again, and that seemed to kind of keep y'all off of Strahd's anger list. He
didn't kill us.
He didn't kill you.
No.
And you guys also inadvertently delivered Arena to him, who he has been pining for, and made the decision to trust Lady Wachter with her well-being. And turns out he just ended up taking her to the castle. And so she's in the castle. Last session, you guys were in Vallaki. You went and arranged a wedding dress for the bride that the abbot had prepared. And so Strahd has the wedding with Irina coming up. He's going to marry her after the blood moon.
He's going to try.
He's going to try. That's what everyone's saying. That the blood moon, you kind of can see it coming and how the moon looks. So you'll have at least a couple days notice. But his intention is to marry her, and you're not exactly sure what that means, but with him being a confirmed vampire, you can guess what it might mean. You also, while you were in Vallaki, ended up I'm trying to remember exactly how it went down. You went back to the tavern, the Blue Water Inn, and you actually talked to the Martikovs there in the aftermath of how you had saved like the husband, but the wife was killed by Strahd's brides, and kind of talked through all that. And then long story short, ended up getting their help, their commitment that they're going to scout the castle for you. But in the meantime, you guys were actually asked to go back to the Wizard of Wine's vineyard, where the Were-Ravens, the Keepers of the Feather, are based, and they need your help again. And so when we tried to do this session back, in October or whatever, and the computer ended up crashing after like 5 minutes. But you went back and found that he was there. So with that said, I guess I could have gone through slides while we did that just to help. But you did talk to Blinsky when you were in Vallaki. You ended up picking up a monkey named Enos.
Do you have a monkey?
That is now on Nico Terrada's shoulder.
Please don't let that thing die.
No, never that.
You guys went back to the Blue Water Inn and talked to Elisa and Daddy Mardukov. You ended up going back, and this is where we ended the last 5-minute session. Was you guys had gotten back to the Wizard of Wine's vineyard, and when you got there, you saw the grandfather, sort of the patriarch of their family, Davian, among a group of black chickens, and he was in tears. And so that's where we're going to pick up, is that you guys have arrived back at the Wizard of Wine's vineyard, and you see Davian kind of in tears, trying to shoo around these chickens, trying to get them under control. And as he's doing so, he's saying things like, Thomas, no, get over here. Lucy, don't peck at your brother. And he's trying to manage them, but the whole time tears are streaming down his face as the party approaches.
Davian, right?
Davian, yep.
Davian, what's happened?
It's all of them. All of them that tried to go and confront Baba Lygasa. She also sent this back with them. And he hands you what looks to be a parchment made of black bird skin. And on it, inscribed in blood, is this note that says, "A tale was told by Sisters 3, heroes from beyond to see. They killed 2, and 1 did flee. Now Baba Lygasa, the Mama Lygasa, would have a word over tea. Come tell me what I should do with ye." And he says, is he talking about you?
I think that must be the case. Can I do an inspection roll on the black leather to see where I think it could have came from?
Absolutely. Let's if you have let's see, if you could roll nature, you could roll investigation.
I have investigation, so
Okay,
I'll do that.
Do investigation. Let's try to beat 14.
Nope. 8.
An 8. Okay. Yeah, declare your rolls if you don't mind, guys, because it's not going to be on the video otherwise.
Mhm.
Okay, so yeah, so you look at it and you're like, I mean, with an investigation, you can tell that it's definitely like bird skin, but it's like thicker and bigger than what bird skin would normally be like.
Okay. Do you really think that they went and did all this to bring us?
Oh, I do. Davian, this scroll references our party. We confronted this witch and her 2 sisters, and we managed to kill 2 of them. But this, the worst one, Baba Lygasa, she got away. And so maybe it's through our failure that this has happened to you, my friend. I am so sorry, but we will set this right.
Nico, no, you don't understand. And he puts his hand on your shoulders. He goes, Baba Lygasa did not get away because Baba Lygasa was never at the Bone Grinder mill. She has always been in the Berez swamp, and she is far more powerful than the witches you faced there.
If she can project our person and her power, she is definitely more powerful than we have ever comprehended. What do you know about her, sir?
Give me a persuasion. He wants to help, so I'm gonna give you advantage on it.
Okay, hold on. That didn't have the modifiers on it. Hold on. How do I do that? Advanced dice roll. There we go. All right, there we go. Hold on. All right, so I got a 25.
Okay, so he goes, we know very little. She has been in Berez Swamp for, as far as we can tell, for generations. She's a terrible, terrible monster, and any of my children have flown over Berez, have not returned, so I have always told them stay far away from her. But the pumpkin scarecrows that attacked the vineyard that you saved us from, they came from her. She has creatures like that guarding her lands. She's been so quiet for so long, but it is my belief that she took the other gem that enchants our vineyard and helps the wine grow. I do not know why she suddenly has become so violent and active, but my children that were here after you left, a group of them decided to try and go get the gem back. And this is how those that survived returned. And right about then, one of the roosters goes,
This rooster, this one, come here. I'm gonna beckon to it, and I have animal handling. What can we do to make sure that I have some kind of communication with it?
well, give me an animal handling roll.
Okay, all right.
I think Enos needs advantage on cock handling, particularly.
Expertise, maybe. Double proficiency bonus.
So I got a 10. What does that give me, Rocky?
And you know, you're messing with this rooster, and you're trying to communicate with him, and like you think it's working for a minute, but then he just starts pecking the ground again and acting like just like a rooster. And you just like, I mean, he seems comfortable with you, but he's not interacting with you anymore.
So can I cast a spell on him?
You can certainly try.
Okay, dispel magic. So
Okay.
Third level spell
Okay.
Fancy schmancy.
on this guy.
Damn.
Okay.
I've got the slot.
All right. So I'm going to the sacred text to read a little bit about that spell while you. So. Okay. So I want you to roll. I want you to make an ability check using your spell casting ability.
Spell casting ability. Okay.
Uh-huh.
The spell casting ability, just remind me real quick. So I cast spells from charisma. I've
Yeah,
got a
so add your
+7.
charisma
Okay.
to whatever your plus for charisma is and your proficiency plus.
Okay.
Do those two together.
Okay. That's a 10 total. Okay.
Oh, it's 10 total?
10
Which
total. I
was-
got seven on charisma and +3 on proficiency.
No,
Yeah.
you don't.
That
You would-
sounds a bit high for your
Okay.
charisma.
Okay.
What's your charisma score?
It's my charisma score is
He's probably looking at saving throws, Rocky.
Okay.
no, I'm not, dude. I'm not at all.
Okay.
Wait, I am absolutely looking at saving throws. Good catch.
We got your back,
So-
man. Don't worry.
My charisma is 19.
Okay,
So
so
it's
you'd
gonna
be
be-
rocking a +5 then.
Yeah, that's right.
No, it's a +4. It is a
Four,
+4.
four,
Yeah,
and
there
his
we go.
proficiency bonus is 3, I think. So that should be
It's
plus
7.
7.
Okay.
Okay, so at 7 total, the first one. Okay.
Oh, yeah. So I want you to roll that, and I want you to try to beat. Well, there you go.
All right, 25.
Okay. So this is cool. So I didn't expect this. So you've cast this spell before, and what you know about this spell, and because you're a bard, you usually do it to like music or something like that, right? So I don't know
Okay.
how that would look for Nico. You can tell me, but like basically you do your musical magic thing, and you've done this before and ended like charms on people, or like low level spells just automatically melt away when you cast this spell. But when you cast it on this rooster, you feel this like pushback of magic. Like you feel something like almost makes you sick to your stomach. What I imagine, you can tell me if this is not accurate. I imagine you're playing your song and infusing it with your magic, and you almost like skip a chord when that wave hits you back, right? But then you look and you watch as the magic actually does get pushed off of this rooster, and you watch as this like raven actually starts to morph into an actual raven, a big raven, like not a normal size raven, but it starts to alter back, and it's literally a raven for a moment, and then suddenly the beak shrinks back, the feathers shrink back, and it turns back to a rooster again.
Okay, and so now I have to replace the 2 strings on my lute that broke. Great.
Okay, yeah.
Well,
and then
give me
and then if you guys have Arcana, which I think that's Dr. Crawford and Disdain, those of you that Arcana, give me an Arcana check, please, and try to beat a 15.
I fail.
Okay, Disdain, let's see what you got.
Rolling
Nico's
now.
restringing his instrument in frustration. He's cursing under his breath.
8.
Okay. With that low of a roll, what you guys kind of see, just really what you see is what I just described. It's you don't have an explanation for why that happened. You feel like that spell should have worked and it didn't.
Lord Davian, I am sorry. I have tried my best magic. My party has tried to inspect what went on here, but I believe that the magic is stronger, and we have to eliminate this at the source. I am so sorry that I feel like I failed you yet again.
I feel like I have failed you. You have been nothing but friends to me and the Keepers of the Feather, and I continue to ask you to put your lives at risk for us.
What do you say? I can tell from the skies that the blood moon is still some time away. Do you guys want to go down to this witch and drink tea with her?
I'm a little thirsty.
Yes, we had to rush straight through the night to get here. I think we're
Inspiration
all
this thing.
exhausted.
Thank you.
I'd be willing to help, but we should probably get a long rest before we head out. Restore those spell slots, get rid of the point of exhaustion we've got.
Davian, Lord Davian, wasn't I just telling you what the lunatic party I travel with? They're insane, but they love justice, and justice will be done, sir.
My home is yours, and you will need your rest if you're to face this evil demoness. He goes, I'll prepare what we have for you. Just help me get the children into the barn so they can't get lost or eaten by foxes.
Yes, I'll do my best to assist with that too, because I have some questions I want to ask him over dinner.
Okay.
I sit there and I cast a couple magic hands just as the cantrip that I have, just to kind of help shield everything in.
Everybody give me an animal handling. If you don't have animal handling, you're rolling at disadvantage.
Okay.
Yay.
Animal handling, baby. Let's go. Hold on. So I got an 11.
I got 10.
8 from Crawford.
Okay. And Rogar?
Oh, it's bad. Rogar's got one sticking out of his mouth. He's got like salt and pepper on it and some like curry.
He did better than most of y'all.
No.
Yeah, so yeah, it's not easy because sometimes for a moment they almost act like they understand what y'all are trying to do and they cooperate, and then it's like they switch and just go back to being chickens and they start to wander off again. And so it takes y'all about 20 minutes to just like kind of get them gathered up. Rogar is the one who kind of gets it by the end, kind of figures out their movement patterns, starts grabbing them up in his arm. He's got about 4 in his arms, and they're just like, you know. But y'all get them into the barn, and Davian secures the barn, and y'all head into the manor, and he tells y'all to go to the den, but he does say, Dr. Crawford, you said you wanted a word with me. If you want to assist me in making the tea and the food, then follow me. And
sure, yes.
He goes to the kitchen with you.
And I'll assist him as we make the tea, and I'll start with a pretty simple one. Davian, when we encountered the hags last at the Bone Grinder Mill, the one that got away, I believe her name was Morgantha. based on the message, I'm assuming that she seems to have met up with this Baba Lygasa. What concerns me is when we fought the Hags at the Bone Grinder Mill, they placed some sort of heavy emphasis on the number 3, that they drew power from there being 3 hags. Is there some third hag that you know of that could have helped create a hag, I guess the word is coven, that they would be using to bolster their power to work a magic this nasty?
Okay, so I rolled a check for him. He looks frustrated. He goes, "My son, you seem to be an educated man. You would likely know more than me. I do not know much of the nature of these creatures other than I know the 3 women that were at Bone Grinder Mill were there for some time. We only recently began to understand the nature of who they actually were. We watched them, but from a distance. It was only after the battle with your party that we understood more clearly what they were. But we've always known of Baba Lygasa, and we've always known of her power and her evil. But she has never been with 2 others. It's always been just her and her terrible, terrible hut."
So she's a solo act. What would you be willing to elaborate on what you mean by hut? And as we're working on the tea, is the tea ready for us to bring the tea out to the...
Just about.
Okay.
Yeah. He says, her hut, I've seen it with my own eyes when I was scouting as a young man in Berez. It rises on 2 giant legs, and it's massive. It can knock trees down with its strength. Such a strange thing. If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, I don't believe I would believe.
So our house is some sort of construct. Oh, great. Okay. Well, thank you for warning us. That gives us something to worry about and plan for. I said, well, let's get these. My party's exhausted. Let's get this tea in.
Yeah. So he's got
talk as a group.
Yeah, he's got some bread and cheese, some charcuterie, and he brings out some wine too, and some tea, and comes out, and you guys lay it out on this little table around the fire, and he sits down and just looks exhausted. Just looks like he's a very old man right now.
Lord Davy and I drink this tea, and I eat your food, and my imagination runs wild, and I can just see you in your younger days as a silver-crested raven, just looking out for justice on these lands. Have you seen much change lately in how things go, in the way they've always been? Has this always been your life, this life of misery, looking out for your brood, dodging this arrow or that, this spell or that? Has it always been this difficult for you? You seem aged, well beyond my imagination.
Inspiration, wonderful thing to ask. He actually is drinking some wine, takes a sip, and he says, "Well, my whole life, it has been about the wine and guarding the land. But guarding the land when Strahd von Zarovich is the Lord is no simple or easy task. As you have seen with your own eyes, evil infests the very air of Barovia. My family, for generations, because of our gifts, have developed strategies to avoid his demons and guards. We've learned to survive, and I might even have said before the most recent events, we've learned to thrive in Barovia. But so long as the curse hangs over this land, there is little joy to be found here. I've talked to venturers and travelers like you before. It amazes me that there are lands beyond the mist, lands that aren't filled with horror, sadness. We find our joys where we can, and for me, it is family. It is all the ones that you've helped me save before. It's in making the wine and bringing what little bit of joy I can to the people of this cursed place. You ask me if something has changed. The only thing that has changed, and I mean no offense whatsoever with what I'm about to say, but it is the truth. Since your party has come to Barovia, things have stirred. Things that have long been at rest, like Baba Lygasa. But I do not blame you. I believe that you may be the ones that Madame Eva speaks of. You may be the ones able to end this curse. And that is why the land and Strahd are acting the way they are. On some level, they must know the threat you pose. Or maybe not. Maybe I'm just an old man that wants to hope. But that's what I feel and that's what I think.
I think you retreat into your allegories, old man, sometimes, when you know you've struck upon the truth. The winds whisper across these lands. People think that I play music with these strings, but no, it's much deeper than that. I know that this lands, they hold something special for us and you. And we have absolutely come to tilt these lands. And so there will be a bit of a shaking, a pressing through. But we will prevail. So in the morning, it is my plan that we will strike out and we will destroy this witch, this hag, and her terrible hut. And we will free your brood. And then we'll press on to other matters. But it is my vow to you that I will not breathe until I've tried my last to free you and your brood.
Then you have my thanks. I owe you more already than I could repay. If there are any gods of light out there,
I cast a light cantrip.
it actually seems to surprise him. He says, there are some in my group that believe in the Morning Lord and other gods like him. Gods that want to help us, but the mist diminishes their ability to do so. If such gods exist, then I sincerely pray their blessings on you and your party. But if you'll excuse me, I am very tired.
Very well. Can we retire to the same rooms we stayed in last time?
You have the run of my whole house.
Thank you, David.
And he refills his glass and goes up to his room.
No, Rogard, we do not eat the chickens. They are people. Put it down. Rogard, put the rooster down. Very good. They are not chickens, they are people. Okay.
I relay what Davian told me in the kitchen about the hut, and yeah. So these guys know.
Yep. All right.
They do look tasty, but they are chicken. They are people, not chicken.
All right. So this will be kind of like y'all's last moment to do anything you want to do as a party, or is there anything you want to say, or anything you want to do for prep before you get a long rest?
I take supper. We're all gonna die.
I take a moment to read from Strahd's journal.
Okay. Give me a D20.
$18.
Is anybody injured? Is everybody at full health? Anything like that?
We're getting a full rest, so we should be able to.
Long rest will fully restore all hit points and spell slots. So
that's a foregone conclusion. That has not been announced.
Okay.
That's true. If something interrupts it, yes.
I'll spoiler alert that you're going to get a full rest. Okay, so with an 18, as you're going through the journal, and the interesting thing about the journal, as you've noted, right, is like Strahd has written in this for hundreds of years. Like even before he was a vampire, he was writing in this journal. And then at times he uses different shorthand. And so the reason you can't just read it is because you really got to try to decipher some of the shorthand, right? And then there's just mundane passages and things like that. But when you roll on this, you're actually going to get something somewhat useful, right? So with the 18, you find a chapter that's filled with like designs of some type of device. And Strahd calls this device the apparatus. And he talks about how soon after he became a vampire, a lich came to the land of Barovia. And this lich's name was Azalin. And Azalin taught Strahd a lot of magic because he wanted Strahd to teach him about what Strahd had learned about the mist. Because he himself was trapped in Barovia and he wanted to figure out how to get out. And so the two of them spent several decades teaching each other things. And they built this device together called the apparatus, which is apparently able to alter the very nature of someone who steps into it. Strahd talks about the different possibilities of this device, that it can possibly separate a person into two beings that represent the dual nature of the person, or it could be used to possibly imprint a soul onto another soul. And it's all kinds of like arcana and like strange magical theory is tied into it. But what is specific in this passage is that the apparatus is in Castle Ravenloft.
Oh wow.
Crazy
That's-
toys of Strahd von Zarovich, yeah.
That's some juicy tea.
So while he's been researching that, Rocky, I'd like to take a look around the house, if I may. He did give us free run of the place a little bit. I'm going to be looking for anything that looks like any sort of like family office or something where documents would be kept, records, anything like that. Is there something like that around this place?
Yeah. You find an office. It looks like it's probably Davian's office, and there are some scrolls and some journals and some of it has.
Is he?
No, he's not.
Okay.
There now. You got to remember there was some damage done to the house when the Twig Blights and Druids took over.
Mhm.
So you do still find like some of the shelves have been broken and they've cleaned up a little bit since then, but there still is some residual damage to some of the things in the house.
Okay, so I'm gonna briefly go over like some of his what looks like his more recent documents, anything that he had like out on a desk or anything like that, or anything that looks like it's been picked over recently.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna look for anything that has any sort of correspondence with Strahd von Zarovich. In fact, I'll go so far as to use that old letter I have or from Strahd with his handwriting to try to hopefully speed up the search and look for things to make it look like I can see, has this guy been talking with him? And if he has been, about what? Is it anything beyond just business or anything like that? So
give me an investigation.
Okay.
It's CSI Barovia, dude. It's impressive, Zaki.
I'm still mildly suspicious of this guy, so I wanna.
He's sus. He is.
He's not necessarily evil, but he's sus. So that's 23.
Okay. So you're specifically looking for that, and what you as you're going through documents, what you find there's actually letters from all of the burgomasters.
Okay.
So you find a letter from oh lordy, I'm not gonna forget his name, so I got it written down. Hold on.
Take your time.
You find a letter from Ismark. So if you remember, Ismark is Irina's brother. And when you guys had left the village of Barovia, he was declared the new burgomaster. And so he has a letter that's very cordial, introducing himself as the new burgomaster of Barovia. And it just says, I understand that there's a wine shortage at this time, but we in the village are running very low, and we would greatly appreciate any shipment you can get our way. There's a letter from Lady Wachter as well, that basically says the same thing. She's introducing herself as the new, but hers is very terse and very like, if you expect to continue to be paid, then you will, get this wine to us.
Yeah.
And then there's a letter from Strahd von Zarovich that said that's very, very friendly. And in this letter, it says something to the effect of, my dearest David, I was so relieved to see that your home, which was under duress, was recently rescued by agents of mine. I ask for nothing in return for them saving your home and your business, other than a shipment of champagne la stamp for my upcoming nuptial ceremony. Yours truly, Strahd von Zarnich.
All right. Okay, I'm going to put everything back where I found it. So I would rather he not know I was rummaging through his things. So I guess that'll be it. I don't want to. Any further investigation I did would probably involve me making it known that I'm rummaging through his stuff. So I'll back off for now. So
Okay. Okay. Does anybody want to do anything else before the long rest?
No.
Okay. Then you guys get a long rest. What level are you guys right now?
8.
8. Okay, fantastic. So you get a long rest, and in the morning, you guys, it's very misty, very hazy. The sun's out, but it almost looks like a moon because it's shining through the mist. There's a little light rain falling. It's that sort of annoying kind of rain that's cold and icy and just misty enough, And Davian's not inside, and after a little while, you guys figure out he's actually out in the barn. He's actually feeding the chickens and talking to them and telling them, everything's going to be okay. The adventurers, they're going to help us.
Davian, would you be willing to, and I pull out my map of Barovia, would you be willing to mark a good path for us to reach where you think Baba Lygasa is? We're not as familiar with these lands as you are, so we can do the traveling and confront her, but we need to know where we're going because we are a bit pressed for time.
So he shows you on the map a path to through the swamp. There used to be a road that about halfway to it, kind of it's overgrown. It's not used anymore. He explains to you that Berez at one time was a town as big as Valaki, but about 200 years ago, a woman that Strahd believed was his reincarnated love was found there, and the burgomaster killed her, thinking that would keep her from Strahd, and Strahd sank with his magic all of Berez into the swamp and killed everyone there. And that soon after, Baba Lygasa showed up and just basically took the ruins over. So no one goes there anymore. But he does map out how to get there. And it's about 14 hours, maybe 12 to 14 hours, something like that.
Okay. Gentlemen, do you have anything you want to discuss before we begin our travels again?
Davian, I wish you were going with us, man. I wish you could take flight and help us bring justice to you and your family. But I understand you are old in age, perhaps a few feathers missing from your flight tips. But
hold now, boy. That's not the issue. The issue is someone has to look after these children.
I figured as much. I just wanted to hear you say it, and I just wink at him.
Oh, you're playing with an old man. You got my feathers up for a moment.
Didn't mean to ruffle your feathers.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Okay,
and I just wanted to turn to Damien and just see. I understand your points that you were saying last night. I understand that ever since us four have come to this land, there's been nothing but torment. But from what I've heard from history, that's not too far distant from what you guys have had. I feel like you guys have been giving a status quo to your overlord, and I know you don't believe that solely in your heart. We're here to avenge this and change this. We will not let your family continue to be the cannon fodder of our movement, though.
Thank you, Disdain. It's kind words and true words you speak. Be careful. I don't believe you've faced anything like what you're about to face.
And I don't think Baba Lygasa has ever seen this Rogar person. Rogar's kind of quiet, but he's kind of like a smoldering quiet.
We
So,
have a Hulk.
All right. So you guys heading out?
Sure. Yep.
All right. So as you leave the barn, Davian says, "Sir Rogar, could I have a private word with you?"
oh no.
Man's got swag.
He'll grumble, but walk over towards him.
He'll say, after the rest of the party leaves the barn, he says, "I didn't want to say this in front of your friends because I didn't want to hurt their feelings. You're clearly the strongest, and you're the one they're going to push to the front line, no doubt. I can only tell you something. If you end up facing Lygasa or her minions, don't hold back. She may look like an old woman, but she is by far, perhaps other than Strahd himself, the most deadly individual in this land. Good luck, boy." Pat you on the shoulder.
I'll grumble. I'll say I understand. I've got a date, and then I'll turn around and walk off.
Inspiration, love it. Okay, so you guys get on the road, and you end up walking for about 6-7 hours, and it's kind of just forest like you've been through with some road that's a little bit overgrown, but there are still cobblestones and stuff. And then you hit this point where it's still cobblestones. Clearly, it was a constructed road at some point, but it's covered with vines. It's covered with moss. There's a few points where you got to stop and like refine where the path is. And you continue to travel throughout the day. Do you guys stop and eat, or do you just like eat as you go?
I took a few eggs on the way, and I'm just gonna kind of slurp those down as we go.
Oh, awesome!
Did you collect the eggs from the chickens
Awesome.
that were in the barn?
The roosters that laid eggs. Yes.
The next generation.
Roosters that laid eggs.
The next generation. That's
Nothing
great.
better than rooster eggs, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you see Rogar over there just chewing on some eggs, and all of you are like, "Where did he get those eggs, man?" That's
Thing is, he's puffing on them with his breath, and it's hardballing them.
Oh,
He's
nice.
flashing
I love
them.
that.
He's just
I
like,
love that.
boom.
And they smell terrible. For the record, they smell terrible as we go onto the road.
Problem is, Rogar, no worse than you regularly do. So, like, we don't notice.
Just wait till they come out the other side, friend.
Rogar, I cannot abide your flatulence.
I've heard of fire breath, but not fire flatulence before. That's a good one.
That's a ring of fire.
So
Yeah, we're just eating.
Cool. So then as you go, it's eerily quiet. Like at a certain point, you're like, I don't hear insects, I don't hear birds, I don't hear anything. And a couple hours later, you come to this kind of ledge that overlooks what you assume to be Berez. You see some houses that have been ruined. You see a strange hut in the distance with some glowing lights around it. You see in the fields surrounding this area, there are many scarecrows that are just standing in the field.
Okay.
Bringing back some bad memories.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and talk to Enos real quick. Tell him to jump in my backpack.
You mean animal handling?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. That's a 11.
He bites your finger and like just refuses to go in the pack.
I'm just gonna say, okay, the choice is yours, my friend, but you will die. But I cannot be sneak attacked. But you will die from me. But you will die if you don't get in my backpack. And you're just like, That's cool. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah, he kind of like smacks you on the head and like
Great.
refuses to go in.
He flexes. He's just like, nah.
He is such a third.
He says
So-
he says Leroy Jenkins and he charges the boss.
Great.
Yeah.
So he like actually jumps off and charges forward.
Yeah, you have to run in the field
We
and
see
catch
the
him.
defensive stance shield above his head.
Yep.
Dong!
Yep.
Oh, by the way,
Alright,
before I
so-
forget again, I should probably hand you guys your vials of perfume from last time because Dylan's the only one who got one aside from me. So Rogar and Nico, go ahead and add a perfume vial to your inventory sheet.
Perfume
Both of you?
vial.
I'll change mine down to 1 so that I've only got the 1. That way each of us have 1. And then there was something else I was going to give you too.
What does the perfume vial do? Just make
it
me
was
smell sexy.
It makes you hopefully not smell like you.
Very good.
Because at this point, I'm pretty sure all of us smell like 2 skunks and getting frisky in a cabbage patch. So
I smell like the underside, that's for sure.
yeah. And oh yeah, the scroll of featherfall that we bought. I don't think I can even use it. I think it has to be one of you guys, because it has to be on your spell list. Not spell known, but something that your class can cast theoretically. So
So the way I play it is a scroll can be used by anyone who can cast a spell.
That
So
makes
so
sense.
long as you can cast spells, you can use a scroll.
Which is
Okay,
all of us, basically.
then I guess it's just a matter of would any of you guys prefer to hang on to this or should I? It's just if we ever find ourselves in a situation where somebody's about to fall to their death, it might be useful. So
Yeah, that would be Rogar. He would fall like a meteorite.
Rogar, do you want it? And I hold it out. All right, I'll just hang on to it then. Steer clear of the scarecrows, I guess. I seem to recall us having some trouble with them in the past. So
Yeah, Roger will he'll ask if there's any way we can check these guys as we go through.
if you
Is there
want
any-
to, I can investigate them. But
Check him for what? COVID, dude? Like, what are you trying to do? Like,
I don't want them to. I don't like scarecrows. I don't want them to jump out at me. So I'm,
look,
I'm
dude.
trying
Yeah,
to.
okay, so like, you can breathe fire, right? So like, they're made of straw and stuff. So
Yeah, but I can only do it once. It's a one timer. I'm just saying. Let's.
you sound
give
like a
'em
bitch right now, dude. Is what
That's
you
fine.
sound like.
That's fine. I don't like witches. To be serious. So let's go around them with a wide berth. Is all I'm saying.
Sounds good. Wide berth is scarecrow. That's check. I'm marking it down. Check. Wide berth.
all right,
All right,
Above the table.
So you guys get closer to the town. You do, as you move through those fields, you do kind of go wide around the scarecrows, and they don't seem to react to you at all. And they seem, as far as you can look at them from a distance, they seem like they're just scarecrows. But you get to Perez, and when you get to Perez, you're now kind of among the buildings, and you know, on the other side of those buildings, on sort of a little valley on the other side, as you saw from a distance, is that glowing hut. But as you get closer to the town itself, you hear a voice say from behind one of the trees, "Halt, fiends! State your business." And you turn around, and standing in the middle of the road behind you, with a rusty short sword pointing your way, is a scarecrow. And we will pause there so the DM can have a bio break. And
all right.
Very good.
He doesn't look scary. I'm gonna go smoke a bong.
All right.
All right, Zoc. Any tips on fighting witches? Because I don't want to fight them. To be honest.
I have a feeling we're probably not going to have much choice unless this ends up being a surprise social encounter kind of thing. Witches, they're primarily spellcasters. Yeah, the hags can be kind of nasty in close combat, but they're just way worse when it comes to casting magic. So
Yeah, because I was thinking about this whole time, and if I get like brainwashed, I'm gonna kill all of you.
okay, so you have a spell I think called Protection from Evil and Good. If you want, you can cast that on yourself and concentrate on that instead of Bless. what that does is it makes you, I believe, let me look it up just to make sure, but I believe it makes you immune to charm and possession. So, and that would basically keep you from getting turned against us. So now I can also cast it on you, but the thing is, if they break my concentration, or if they charm me, your immunity goes away, then they just charm you. So let me make sure that I'm understanding the spell correctly, and you can go from there. I have D&D Beyond hooked up for easy access to shit. So protection from evil and
I've got it pulled up here. It's I'm immune to fear, charm, possess.
Yeah, so it's until the spell ends, one willing creature you touch is protected against certain types of creatures: aberrations, celestials, elementals, fae, fiends, and undead. The night hags we fought, I think, were both fae and fiends. So fae is like fairies and stuff, and hags are typically classified under fae. The protection grants several benefits. Creatures of those types have disadvantage on attack rolls against the target. The target also can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed by them. So any of those mental status effects that would take you out of the fight wouldn't work on you. The only thing they could possibly maybe do against you is illusions. If the target is already charmed, frightened, or possessed by such a creature, the target has advantage on the saving throw against the relevant effect. So if you want to use that instead of bless, you could surefire keep yourself from getting charmed, frightened, or possessed by any fae or fiends, which I'm assuming Baba Lygasa is if she's like the night hags. So,
and by the way, guys, I am gonna just pop a third level to suggest him that I'm trying to think of the right ways of suggestion, but what should I? Because it's got 8 hours.
I'm not the Grand Poobah bullshit here, man. That's up to you.
I am just I'm trying to think of what I could say. Like I
One other thing, Rogar, is that a lot of really nasty magical effects are concentration. If you see her cast a spell and the spell's effect stays out, smack the shit out of her to try to break that concentration. So
I got it. I'm gonna go say that Baba Lygasa is actually we've had an issue with Baba, like there's been a problem. You need to go tell Count Strahd of the issue, and I'm gonna send him 8 hours that way.
how many of these do you think there are?
But this seems like the one that caught us, and if we start doing investigation checks and trying to be a little bit more stealthy walking in, maybe we can get through this a little bit easier.
So Enos is still gone.
I'll be honest with you. She knows we're coming, so I don't know that I would burn it on this.
Yeah,
dude.
I'll let you guys talk strategy. I'll be right back.
I would just look, take us to her and let's see what happens.
Oh, but at the same time, like I got lots of second level spell slots and lots of stuff, so it's like this is just more us not being able to take any extra hit points until we have to. That's more my thought of it, because this guy could trigger a bunch, and I feel that, but I don't need to burn it if we don't think we have to. It's just my suggestion. Funny, it's the spell.
D&D humor.
I don't know. I don't want to fight this witch if we can help it, honestly.
Well, I feel like we're gonna have to fight the witch no matter what.
Nico's a smooth talker. Maybe he can talk us out of it.
We killed 2 of her daughters.
So we didn't know they were her daughters.
Yeah, and the third got back and let them stew about it. I don't think we're going to be able to walk in there with like any kind of good wording. I'm not saying that a good roll couldn't get us past it. I think we just need to buckle down and get ready to fight.
I think when I get possessed, you're all going to die.
I got you.
I think you're all going to die. But okay.
I'll just go and do a minor illusion of a little bunny rabbit to distract you, right? And you chase the bunny, and we'll be good. Master of tricks.
Yeah.
Yep. That's right.
Enos, what do you feel about me suggesting this scarecrow just to go, because we've already taken out Baba Lygasa, you need to go warn Count Strahd that this is the issue. Burn a level 2s.
we got a DM online here.
I realize this, but
Yeah.
DMs love listening to
Tactics.
players strategize.
No tactics will be discussed in this channel.
We when I play physically, like we have this thing where we make the DM leave the room.
Yeah. Get out.
Like, get your ass out of here.
Yeah. Bye, dude. Yeah.
Okay, so you guys you're kind of stealthily moving into Berez, and all of a sudden you hear this voice say, "Halt, fiends, state your business." And you turn around, and the scarecrow is standing there, very like shoulders back and his arm forward, holding this rusted blade. And even though it's 4-1, he seems to be very bold. Stands waiting an answer.
Oh, sir, I'm sorry. We did not know we were trespassing on these lands. I beg your apologies. I am Nico Tirada. I'm at your service. We were invited to a tea session by the enchantress Baba Lygasa. Do you know her?
Baba Lygasa is the reason I am as you see me now. And through her dark magic, I am bound to her service. She set me as a guard over this side of town, and I am aware of your party's arrival. I simply needed to hear you state your business so that I could let you pass.
So, forgive me, sir, but did you also drink her tea?
I drank no tea, sir.
Oh, okay.
I came here seeking her help, and she did not help me. She cursed me instead. She said that all the knights of my order were doomed anyway, and they would not mind one more of their number disappearing.
You're a knight, sir. And I'm going to motion to my parties to get down on a knee. Sir, I'm going to kneel in front of him. I'm going to say, sir, I did not realize you were a knight. What was your order?
Inspiration. He says, when you do that, it's hard. So if you have perception, give me a perception roll.
Okay. All right.
I follow Enos's roll and I get down on one knee as well.
Y'all better get down, dude. This guy.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. What's that? That's a 22.
Okay. Anyone else? If you don't have it, you can still roll it at disadvantage.
I don't have it, but if you didn't get it with a 22, then.
Well, he did get it. So what you notice, Nico, is that it's hard because he's a scarecrow. So he doesn't have like facial micro expressions and things like that. But when you get on your knees and the rest of the party kind of sees it and they get down on their knees too, he almost looks like emotional. He sort of takes a step back. He says, I am Serpents, a member of the Holy Order of the Knights of Argynvolt. Have you heard of my order, sir?
I am a stranger, a foreigner to these lands. I do not know even where I stand in the midst of these trees, much less holy orders. But what you speak of sounds incredibly impressive, and it sounds like incredibly even harder to attain.
So you have heard some mention of this order. You know that where their fortress is in the middle of Barovia, you know that the Sun Sword that's where it is.
Oh gosh, that is.
But
right.
you know,
okay, I'm sorry.
But you know, like very little about the order itself. Just that's.
Okay,
yeah.
Can we just retcon this? This order, I've only heard whispers. It is a very mysterious order.
I will tell you of us if you have but a moment before your meeting with the witch.
Oh, we have plenty of time. We came all this way, and we have not yet made it. So,
the Holy Knights of Argynvolt were led, sadly are still led, by my brother, Sir Vladimir Horngard. One of the most noble, kind, and just knights any land has ever known. He stood against Strahd von Zarovich when he arrived in Barovia with his armies. And we, the knights, we kept him from laying siege and claiming this land as his own. We worked with a mighty dragon named Argynvost, a silver dragon, who helped us stop Strahd's armies. Until Count Strahd, under the pretense of peace negotiations, sent us food and water after a long siege that was poisoned. Most of us died. The few of us that remained served my brother as well as we could, locked in our fortress. The dragon Argynvost was unfortunately slain. I believe Strahd took the remains of the dragon back to Castle Ravenloft. It was a dark time for us. The land became Strahd's, and in a few short years, he had basically conquered it all. And then one night, the mist rose, cut the land off from all others. And something happened to those of us that were left in the fortress. We were cursed. One by one, I watched my brother, his lover, Godfrey, the other knights, all turn into something horrible and undead. Like a zombie, but a zombie that retains its functions and memories. All my brother could think of was revenge on Strahd. But the rumors were Strahd had become something dark and evil himself. I heard of the witch. This is even before she came to Berez. I found her at Bone Grinder Mill. Baba Lygasa cursed me into this body. So I don't know what has happened to my brother and those that remained of the order. She makes me travel with her and protect her. But I miss my brothers. And I miss fighting for a cause worthy of a knight.
I understand. And I'm just going to say above the table, Rocky, to you, didn't we have a journal entry by Strahd that said, fear the bones of Argynvost?
Yeah.
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 Is there a problem if I mention that journal to this guy?
You do whatever you want.
Okay. All right. So this weighs heavy on my heart, but I will tell you that this silver dragon that you rallied behind, Strahd fears him more than anything. And I've heard upon the winds that Strahd fears these bones even of this dragon still to this day. What can you tell me about this dragon and what essence he may possess? What have you seen this dragon do in your time as a knight?
All I know of Argynvost is when the dragon aided our order, he was a very powerful foe, and no army we ever stood against could be defeated until Strahd's. I know little other than rumors I've heard. Rumors that Strahd was doing strange experiments, necromantic experiments, on the remains of that noble dragon.
I feared as much. Sir Knight, what can we do to fulfill your quest to be reunited with your brothers, your family? What can we do to help you?
You are kind to me, sir. I have not known kindness such as you have shown me now for centuries. I pray this is no ruse or jest.
Oh, it is not, I assure you. I assure you that you have cut down many adventurers traveling together, much as you've seen us travel here this night, but we are not the same. We're not the same. I guarantee those adventurers mistook you as an abomination on sight and attacked you. And no doubt, knowing your skill, you dealt with them accordingly. But this night is different, is it not? How
Give
can we
me-
help you, sir?
Give me persuasion with advantage.
So I got a 15 and 9. That's
24.
a
Okay.
24. Okay.
He sheaths his sword. He goes, "There is nothing you can do for me. I am bound, Baba Lygasa, by her dark magic. I am no magician. I cannot break the spell. And even if I could, I am bound to this body she has made for me. I am yet another victim of this land's darkness. The only thing that you can do for me is try to free the land. And if you could, if my brother still lives in whatever corrupted form this land gave him, try to get him to fight Strahd once again. For Count Strahd did not ever face a martial opponent as worthy of him as my brother, Sir Horngard."
There is no deception in you. I swear it. Well, what caution do you have us as we go forward here?
Baba Lygasa is by far the most deadly opponent I have ever faced, and I was defeated by her. But she does bleed. She is not invincible, though she surrounds herself with creatures such as me and has great magic. She can be slain. But she has not survived the centuries she has by fighting every opponent that comes before her. She is a crafty and wise woman, if I could use that phrase. She likely has some reason she has gone through such efforts to bring your party before her. I know, based on what I've heard, that she knows that you care about the Keepers of the Feather, and that is why she targeted them. I believe that she stole their gem and changed their children in order to draw you before her. For what reason, I do not know. But I do believe that if she wanted you dead, she would have attacked you already. It doesn't mean that she won't want to kill you if you act out of step, but I believe she wants to broker some form of deal with you. So the only advice I can give you, Nico Tarada, and your friends, is understand that when you make a deal with a witch, the cost is steep.
Your words have moved me this night. I had not considered these things until I had met you. I ask you one more question. If the time is right, would you be willing to strike with us should that need arise?
Yes, but you must understand she controls me with her mind. If she were to see me do anything openly to act against her, she could turn me against you just as quickly as a thought could cross your mind. It would be my preference to keep distance from you, for I do not wish to do you or your party harm.
And if it's all the same to you, we will just release you to your patrol. Knowing who you are and what you have done matters. It means everything to me. Thank you for letting us pass, sir. Sir Knight.
You are honorable men. And he slaps his sword across his chest. Like it's like this rusted, gross-looking sword, you know, but he treats it like it's a sacred blade, and he just sort of throws it across his chest in a salute.
No doubt he would have gutted us with it regardless. This guy looks bad. So I'm just going to nod to him, and I'm going to rise up, and I guess we'll keep moving towards that abomination of a house.
Quickly, I just want to do an Arcana check on him, just to
Mhm.
maybe see if I know what kind of spell it is.
Yeah.
Give him a COVID test too, man.
Yeah,
Make sure
one of
he's
those.
not sneezing on people, dude. Can't be having that.
Cause. Okay.
Is it a rapid?
Ooh, it's a
Rapid
nice
on it?
8.
And you don't know what's going on.
Don't know shit.
Yeah, just call it positive and let's keep going, dude. 6 feet, 6 feet to the sides. Let's go.
Okay. They'll keep moving.
Yeah, we'll keep moving.
All right. So you move deeper and deeper into Perez. You pass several homes that are just gutted ruins. It's actually really hard to move through town. It's basically difficult terrain because there's all this muck and mud and just ankle high, just brackish water. And you're just moving through these buildings, and you as you're moving through the center of town, there's a statue of a somewhat overweight looking man who literally has like this like rivets across his face, and on the bottom it literally says Burgomaster Keats. So you can give me an insight if you have insight.
Ooh.
So that's Dr. Crawford and Rogar.
Yeah, don't have it.
I'm gonna roll it at a disadvantage.
Go for it.
I'll roll it at disadvantage too. You know, okay.
Yeah, you guys can
Well-
always roll at disadvantage if you
Like-
if I call for a roll.
Solid 4.
Okay.
I think I got a 12.
What's your modifier?
Now, does
It's a wisdom.
disadvantage? Is it a wisdom? Does disadvantage take
No.
into account modifiers too?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. Yeah, wisdom is nothing, so that's good.
Okay, so okay. All you guys can tell is it looks like the gouges on the face look like they're from 5 fingers.
5 finger, 2, 3, 4. Oh, Keats, Burgomaster Keats. Do we know that, boys? Do we
I
know
recall.
Burgomaster Keats? I don't
So
recall.
nothing comes to mind.
Would a survival check do anything for me right now?
You roll it.
All right. Let's see what happens. 13.
So you notice as with that survival check, you feel like this would not be a place any living being would want to be.
All right. So,
Oh,
do we think we're going to be able to have a conversation? I don't think that's in the cards.
we don't know, man. The night's still young.
So you guys push forward past the center of town. You get to the edge of town. There's some farmhouses and stuff. And then you see in the distance this house. And this house is glowing green. And it's hard to make details out from where you are. But this house is literally on legs.
Spider legs.
They almost look like spider legs.
Awesome.
And as you guys are moving towards the house almost turns like it sees you. And it just sort of kind of like comes moving towards the party. And then it suddenly just poof, plops down. And when the house plops down, it kind of looks like that.
Legs are gone, so I'm cool again.
No, they're in the ground. They're not gone.
Doesn't matter. I don't see them, so they're not there.
They're
That's
no.
fine. It's fine. Not a spider house. Nope. And that's cool. That's fine. We're good.
Yeah. It's like snakes in their roots. Just arms.
I take it you're not a fan of creepy crawlies this day.
Nope.
Oh,
not.
far-
Not.
That eight-legged creeps movie. That's not a movie. That's a
Eight-legged
horror movie.
freaks. Yep.
That's just a
When the
nightmare.
house lands, the front door swings open.
Don't
And
do that.
A woman comes walking out, and she moves like a granny. She's kind of jerky, kind of like arthritic almost. And as she gets closer, you see the strange mottled skin, long matted hair, dirty robes, and long fingernails. And as she walks past the front porch of her house, she spins something. And as it spins around, you see Morgantha, the witch, the hag, in a cage. This woman moves very close to the party. Hello, children. Naughty, naughty children who come from places beyond the mist and stir up trouble for my boy. Would you like some tea?
I've been thirsty for a long time, Baba. Let's get this party started.
Madam Lygasa, I presume.
Well, of course, silly.
Forgive me. I must only presume. I have seen this maiden here in the cage before, and I must apologize because we were not seeking trouble at all. We found ourselves in the bone grinder mill, and it turns out we were fed dream pies that made us see visions beyond our understanding, our wildest hopes and ambitions. And we did not know how to process this. And so if we have caused any harm to you, if we caused any trouble to you, please accept my deepest apologies.
She grins really big, and you see these like yellowish cracked teeth, and she looks back at Morgantha and says, "Did you hear that, Morgie? They're sorry for any trouble they caused. Do you think your dead sisters would forgive them?" And Morgantha in the cage goes, "No, mother, no. They wouldn't forgive them." She goes, "But you were playing with those pies again. You know that Baba Lygasa taught you that recipe only for special occasions. But you were using it on every Tom, Dick, and Harry, and every little child in Barovia and Valaki. I know what you and your sisters were up to. Naughty girl." She flips back around and smiles that yellow smile again and goes, "I'm sorry, sweetheart. Those pies really weren't meant for you. But I am someone who can help make your dreams come true." And she pulls out from her robe, she actually literally just pulls out this platter that has a tea kettle and cups on it. She says, "Now I know Disdain wanted some tea. Who else would like some of my tea?"
I'm Nico. I will take some tea.
I'm gonna roll an Arcana check on that
Okay.
as I see it.
Okay.
Oh, a full 9. I'm just these rolls tonight.
Seems
Love it.
great. Seems fine.
Love it.
She looks at you, Dr. Crawford, an old man like you, trudging around the cold mist of Barovia. Certainly your bones could use some warm tea.
I'll take a glass, but I'm not going to drink it yet, Rocky, just so you know. I'll take the glass. So.
And how about you, my scaly friend, with all your muscles? Certainly you could use a little bit of warm tea. Or is your blood cold like the lizards that run around this swamp?
The blood is cold like lizards, but I'll have a glass. And can he like low key, like as he gets the cup, do his detect poison crap on it?
You beat me to it.
You certainly can.
Okay.
Not Nico.
Try.
Nico's loving every bit about this woman. Nico's loving this lady, dude.
Okay. So you all four have these piping hot cups of tea. So I see no one. So you're gonna cast detect poison. Dr. Crawford, are you doing something similar? Or are you like?
I think if I see him casting something, I'll probably hold
So
off.
he said
I only got
low-key.
2 slots.
So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make him roll a sleight of hand check, which I assume you don't have that skill, Rogar. So that's
no
disadvantage. But give me a sleight of hand skill.
Oh, this is gonna be great.
Is it versus my perception then? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
silly question. Can I put counter spell on myself as I drink it
No.
I got a 20 in my perception, Rogark. Let's see if you can beat that.
Yeah, I can't. I literally can't. Hang on a sec.
You roll that
It's
20.
mathematically
You roll
impossible.
2 nat 20s.
Well, I could do an inspiration and just do
Don't
one, right?
spend
Oh,
inspiration on
don't
trying to
do
do Dr. Crawford.
Let's see.
Never go up
I love
against a
when
Sicilian.
players use inspiration on each other. It's great.
When death is on the line.
Okay.
I got 12.
Okay.
Well,
12 plus your modifier, which sleight of hand's what, dex?
one.
Okay,
Yeah,
so 13.
1.
Okay.
13.
So, well, Dr. Crawford, you see it. Let's see if Baba Lygasa sees it.
Oh, that's what I'm worried about.
Let's see.
Hold on. If this is a dex check, doesn't Rogar have something for dex checks now?
Saving throws.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
We were
You
trying to
should
keep him
have-
from dying to lightning bolts and stuff.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, nailed him.
Okay.
I saw that
So-
face, Rocky.
All right. So she, well, it's right there in front of you guys. So she goes, so she rolls a 22. So she goes, she sort of clucks her tongue at you and she goes, silly boy. She goes, if I want to kill you, I won't use poison.
And I'll just say, well, you never know who you can trust.
Wise words. But yeah, so you do cast it. It does go off. But you don't know if it was or wasn't poison. Right?
How
It
do I
doesn't
not
detect
know?
it. So it doesn't detect any poison, Rocky?
Oh, you cast detect, not cleanse. So you cast detect and it is not poison.
Then I'll chug it.
Okay. It's really
Nico,
good.
Nico has been chugging the tea
Nico's
Well,
already
this-
drinking
he's
it while
just
you're
like,
casting detect poison.
because she reminds Nico of his mama. As far away as that memory
Malameva?
could be.
Yeah.
So you guys, so yeah, those of you that drink the tea, it's very scrumptious. It's like a perfectly balanced tea.
Where did you find this blend?
Oh, over many years. She was actually, I learned long ago when I was a maid serving the Von Zarovich family.
How is serving under the Von Zauerviches?
Oh, it was wonderful. Let me tell you. And when she says that, all of a sudden your vision starts to get a little blurry, but you don't feel afraid. And you watch as the swamp and Baba Lygasa, Morgantha, and the hut melt away.
I lean over and I grab Nico and I'm like, get ready for a trip.
And literally all of you see this at the same time. You see a crib in a very well-decorated manner, but it's dark. And you see a very beautiful woman in a nightgown. And she is cooing at a baby in this crib. Oh, my little Strahd. You had me so afraid when you were born. I'm so glad the gods brought you through your sickness. And I'm so grateful for your nanny, Lygasa's medicines, and her prayers to the night goddess. They helped bring you through. I just don't know what I would do if I lost you. And she pulls a baby out of a crib, and this baby has really black hair and really distinct eyes. And she kisses it and holds it against her breast and just sort of coos it. And she looks up, almost like she's looking at you. But she says, Lygasa, I have him. Go get some rest. You shouldn't spend every waking minute with him. It's beyond your duties to give him so much attention. Lygasa's voice comes into your head. You probably think that Ravanoia was a good mother because she loved her babies. She loved Strahd. But how do you truly love someone, I ask you? You love someone but don't really give them anything. Then how did you show your love? She was a wealthy noblewoman, married to a powerful baron. She couldn't do anything for him that money couldn't do for any noble boy. But Lygasa, his true mother, gave him something that to this day helps him. I gave him the spark of magic. I infused it into his very soul when he was but a baby, and I watched over him. Eventually, this bitch chased me away from my son because she was jealous of our bond. But I beseeched the night goddess to help me stay with my boy and continue to help his power grow. And she changed me. She changed me and gave me eternal life. And I did stay with my boy until the night she caught me in his room, singing to him and loving him and infusing him with my magic. She sent her soldiers, and I slew them. I would have taken him with me into the forest, but more nights came, so I fled. But I never got far from him. My sweet boy, my sweet Strahd. I watched him grow as a warrior. I visited him in his dreams. He has no idea that it was me this whole time. He thinks of me as some strange witch, no different than Morgantha and her sisters, who inhabits his land. But I like it that way. I like watching him from a distance because when you really love someone, you don't need credit. And I do love him. I'm the one that whispered to him in his sleep about going to the dark powers. I watched his rise to power, and I watch it to this day. And I guide him, and I love him. But I see now the truth. The dark powers play with my boy. They gave him eternal life, but made him an eternal prisoner. A prisoner to this love for Tatiana. The dark powers draw adventurers like you into this land over and over again. She dies. She's brought back. She dies again. She's brought back again. It's quite tedious. It's time for my boy to be free. And it's you. It's you that will help me do this thing. So what do you say? Help an old woman out.
What do you expect us to do?
I expect you to end the curse of Strahd.
It seems such a simple task. It's been 200 years. What is this resolution you have? I personally know this is the one thing that I follow through with Nico for, but I have so many doubts that you seem so absolute. I'm curious.
Well, you're such sweet boys. Why don't you just indulge an old bored woman in a little game? Each one of you tell me what you think the Curse of Strahd is. And if you get close enough to the right answer, Baba Lygasa may have a little gift for you. So every one of you is going to give me an answer.
I'm sorry, Rocky. I'm an idiot, and I knocked the jack out of my headphones. Could you repeat the last sentence?
She said, every one of you is going to give me an answer.
Okay.
But who wants to go first? And then she sips some tea.
Well, I've never shied away from a flooded stage. I am Nico Tirada. I am at your service, Baba Lygasa. Or shall I call you mother?
Oh, I like that.
Mother, from what I've seen in my short time in these lands, I believe the curse of Strahd is to have unlimited power, unlimited dominion on these lands, which are wealthy. There is wealth here. It's undeniable. He is forever lonely. He is tortured. He is cursed to observe his love, his completeness die over and over and over again. Never understanding what could go wrong, which drives him to such mad feats, which the people of this land seem to lay upon his head. But I do not believe that is the true case. I believe that curse goes way beyond him, way above his power. Even as I said it was unlimited before, it is limited. It is governed.
Well, you've certainly gotten into the neighborhood of the correct answer. And you're certainly right about things being not quite as in his control as he would like to believe. Those dark powers have far more of a hold on this land than he would care to admit.
But I would like to speak freely.
Speak freely, but be careful about that very silver tongue of yours.
Why? Do not, please, Mother, do not make me blush. It is embarrassing for me to see the rosy appearance on my cheeks, but you did a good job. You did really good raising this man. He is a conqueror. He is a warrior, and he is strong, so strong. The moments, and I believe I can speak, the adventurers that I travel with, I've interacted the most with him, and I have been the most terrified. His countenance is unlike any I've seen, and I am seriously intimidated by his power, his gaze.
Come here, Nico. Come close to me.
And I'm gonna saunter over to her.
She grabs your cheeks and gives you like a big wet kiss on your cheek, like you get from like your aunt at like a family reunion.
Okay.
She goes, "That's so true." And she slaps your face. It actually does a hit point of damage. It's so
Absolutely.
hard.
I deserve that.
She goes, "Now let's see what the others have to say."
Thank you, Mother.
She goes, "How about you, dragon? What's the curse of Strahd?"
I haven't quite pieced it all together, but I feel it's similar to what Nico said. It's about love. He can't have it, and that's the only thing he can't have, is what I think.
How'd the dumb lizard get closer to the answer than you?
He's a strong and silent type, that guy. That's the problem there.
And how about you, devil boy?
See, I'm one from the camp of, I've experienced what it is to be used as a monster, even if you feel like you have control. And I have seen how often Strahd tries to do good, but at the same time, so easily coerced into some of the darkest of decisions that he could have made. Clearly, there's somebody at the root of all these decisions, and that sickens me to my outer core. I do feel that with the amount of free will that Strahd has, love may be the only, maybe the obvious answer, but it's not just a love of a person, it's his love of the land, it's his love of everything around, to be the proper reigning supreme leader around here. And it is his constant battle within himself to do that, and it was easily manipulated by these dark forces to give him something as simple. You see it with the stories over and over again of people trying to conquer him, and how easily he's able to overcome this. Armies of people getting slaughtered. And I feel like each time that happens, a little part of him is sold away without him realizing.
So when you say this, you actually see a tear of blood come down her cheek, and you get an inspiration point. And she goes, I've never thought of my boy like that. I'm not sure that your answer is correct, but you've helped me think about him in a different way. And then what does the wisdom of age have to say, old Dr. Crawford, educated man of academia? What is the curse of Strahd?
Curse of Strahd, as I've come to understand it, is that the soul of Tatiana and the soul of Strahd von Zarevich are forever supposedly condemned to be at odds with each other. Strahd must have her. She refuses to be had by him. So if she dies, she reincarnates again in another body, and the cycle continues. What I believe most of the people around this countryside seem to be mistaken about is they think that if Strahd is slain, that the curse will end. I don't think that. I think he'll come back just as she does, though potentially via another means. So if she won't love him and he has to have her, something must be done about the things that cursed him in the first place.
Oh,
and I think you might know what I'm referring to, Baba Lygasa.
Well, that's certainly the closest answer. So I'll give you a prize. And she reaches in her cloak and she pulls out a ring and she hands it out to you.
I'll take it and I'll inspect it.
It used to belong to a boy named Payne. I have no use for it.
What sort of check am I looking at, Rocky? History, Arcana?
Arcana. Well, Arcana would be if you have like a short rest and you want to spend time studying it. Otherwise, you need something like Identify or.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't have our Eldritch Adept yet. I guess I'll hang on to it for now. I'm not going to try to put it on. If in the off chance this thing is cursed, I'm not putting this thing on until
she doesn't seem to expect you to put it on.
Okay, so, I'll just stow it away for now.
Okay.
Baba Lygasa ring.
She goes, so explain a little more of what you're alluding to, boy, and talk plainly. I don't have all day.
Is this domicile of yours somewhere that's warded against prying ears, prying eyes?
No one can hear our conversation.
Good. The dark powers of the Amber Temple have to have their hold on this land disrupted. Any attempt to lift Strahd's curse and before that's done is going to fail. And Strahd himself, I don't believe in his current state, is capable of doing that. It's the vampirism. The thing that they gave to him to give him his eternal unlife is the same thing that prevents him from acting against them truly. From what I understand, there's an artifact in this land that I think us as mortals might be able to wield against the dark powers if they truly do reside at this Amber Temple to the south at Mount Gacchus.
What artifact are you referring to, boy?
A weapon of sunlight of some sort.
Of course. You've talked to Matviva then. What a bitch. Your people really are a problem. You know that? She directs that at you, Nico.
Yeah, I'm going to stand up right now.
Something wrong?
And I'm going to breathe heavy for a few beats. Then I'm going to sit down. I just had to do that.
Morgantha yells, "Careful, mother, that one throws spells." She flips her head around and goes, "Silence, bitch!"
Right at that moment, while you flip her head over, I pat Nico on the back with the mage hand just to kind of assure him.
So you feel that on your back. When she does that, you actually watch Morgantha get thrown back against the prison bars and like flump down to the bottom. She turns around and goes, "I'm sorry for my rude daughter." So you believe that if there's a way to disrupt the hold of the dark powers, then my son might be freed of his curse.
Any attempt to lift the curse could theoretically be possible if their hold is disrupted, I believe. I don't believe that in itself will lift the curse, but
Give me a persuasion.
any attempt to lift the curse before disrupting their hold will be doomed to fail. And you say persuasion, Rocky?
Yep.
Good job, Zaki.
12. Okay.
Give me advantage. I'm going to give you advantage.
Okay.
You built a good case.
Okay. Now, give me a second. Stop. Don't. That's not the final one. I have something else here. I have a once per day blessing from the Morning Lord. So I'm going to apply that to get an extra 1d4.
Okay.
Okay, that brings it to a 15. It's a nice number. I like that.
That'll do it. So you say that, and she goes, Like all academics, your logic is sound, but you're missing facts.
Such as?
Well, your premise, which was very simple at the beginning, was the most correct. The whole issue here is that trollop Tatiana, who keeps getting born and reborn again and taking my boy through the same cycle over and over. And you know the ones doing that are those dark powers. So there's a way to break the cycle. Get rid of her.
So, considering slaying her would just cause her to reincarnate, what do you propose?
She goes, "You're so smart. You can't just kill her. She'll just come back again in 100 years. What you do is you get her soul out of Barovia so it can't be reborn. You take her to Berez, to the Well of the Morning Lord, one of the last places in Barovia that the mist cannot touch. And you just have her drink from the well. And the Morning Lord will rescue her and take her off the board. And then my boy can deal with these dark powers without being distracted."
How do we know that that is the appropriate way to deal with this? Isn't there other ways to imprint souls?
It's the way because I told you it was.
Okay, I understand now. Sorry.
Question, Baba Lygasa. My party was brought to this land via the mists. Was that the dark powers or was that Strahd Zarovich?
She shrugs. My boy, in his own way, is a dark power in and of himself.
Fair, yes.
He does not serve them. They do not serve him. And there's a bit of a contention. But
see, what concerns me is that if Irina were just brought outside the land of Barovia, couldn't she be snatched up again like we were?
No.
What makes you think that?
You don't need to know why, but I know that if her soul is removed from Barovia, it will never be brought back here.
As a question, would this just leave Strahd in ever torment, looking for something he cannot find?
Oh, I'm sure he'd look for her for a while, but after a century or two, he'll give up. She reincarnates every 100 years or so. It's almost like clockwork.
Mother Lygasa, he is currently engaged to this Tatiana reincarnate. Irina is her current name. He is absolutely consumed with her. and she is currently in Ravenloft, where his dominion is the strongest. I don't see us just taking her out of there.
Oh, my smart boy. Now we can get down to business. You're going to get her out of there. You're going to take her to the well in Berez, and you're going to get her soul out of Barovia. Because you're heroes, right? That's what you do. And I'm going to help you get into the castle and get out of the castle, because that's the kind of mother that I am. Of course, I can't take the risk that you would hurt my boy, so I'll have to have certain precautions made. But working together, we'll get her soul redeemed in the hands of the Morning Lord. We'll break the cycle of the curse of Strahd, and maybe you all will even get to leave Barovia in one piece. How does that sound?
Sounds like a nice, neat little bow.
Yes, well, for most of you. So, let's get down to brass tacks, boys. She leans forward on her knees. I'm going to need the book. There's secrets in there that you don't have any business knowing. And quite frankly, I'd like to learn a little bit more about my son. Stuff maybe even a mother doesn't know.
I give a big stretch. I look at her square in the eye. And I question, and I give that shiver. As I reach to my side, I just quickly look back up at her and say, we're talking about a journal? Is that correct?
If you play games with me, I'll turn your intestines into roaches, and they'll crawl out of your skin.
Baba Lygasa, I've been through this so many times. My intestines are already roaches. But
I want
I reach for my
Strahd's
bag of holding.
journal.
I reach for my bag of holding, and I go and pull it out.
Okay.
I'm not going to be trying to pull any bullshit within this entire thing.
Yep.
But as I hand it to her, I look her. I don't break any gaze the entire time, and I hope to do an Arcana check as the book and I exchange hands with her exactly at that point.
Okay, go for it.
$18.
You definitely feel the magic connection you felt to the book sever as you hand it to her.
And then I look at her and I say, do you understand how invasive it is for a mother to read the journal of their own son?
Inspiration.
That's nice, dude.
She says, well, I'm not proud of it, but I love him so much, and I haven't pried this deep into his business for quite some time, and most of this is old information. It's fine. It's fine.
I'm going to say quickly that I'm sorry, I don't mean to sound too bold, but I honestly don't think you understand what the emotion of pride really is.
Well, I'm sure it's terrible.
It's terrible. And that's when I completely shut down, and at that point, I slowly start to... I'm making whatever I can to start walking away, but I've said my piece.
Hold on, boy.
I'm not moving. I'm just showing like the.
I want to give you something because of what you gave me. Did she hand you a scroll?
Is it? Can I identify the scroll, or do I?
As soon as you open it, you recognize it's a scroll that looks like some type of reverse polymorph, very powerful. Mm-hmm. She says that should take care of those little raven vermin.
So it's like a mass one at that point. Okay.
She goes, so that should conclude our business, other than your commitment that you're willing to go get Tatiana, I will help you. I have powerful means to help get you into the castle and out. And of course, one of you has to tell me that you're willing to sacrifice yourself for your party.
Mother Lygasa, what is your plan on getting us in and out? Exactly.
Well, that's for the three of you that are left to discuss with me. Because I'm not going to let the four of you who seem to be somehow bound by prophecy to slay my son to continue to go forward as a party.
Mother,
we
have told you. I'm sorry.
She got her eyes pop open. She says, I will help 3 of you get into Ravenloft, retrieve that bitch, get her to Berez in one piece, save her wretched little soul, and then I don't care what you do after that. But one of you is going to volunteer to die for the other 3 so that the bounds of prophecy are broken and my boy will be protected. So who's it gonna be?
I decline.
Quick above table question. Raised dead, is that like a phoenix feather? Like a swirl? Is that just bringing something back to life, or is it actually bringing somebody back to life if I have a corpse?
So you would need an intact corpse. The spell works on, Rocky, I believe it's 10 years, was it for raised?
Something like that.
No, 10 days. Excuse me. Raised dead is 10 days. Yep. You need an intact corpse. The scroll covers whatever material components were listed in the spell, which normally would have been like a 500 gold diamond, so you don't have to worry about that. After you use the scroll, the effect is consumed. You no longer have that.
Okay.
And while we're above table, does that mean we're gonna die right now, or like later?
She didn't say.
Okay.
That's the thing with these hags, man.
And the thing is, if that, because like, there's no way that she's going to allow me to walk away with the corpse with any kind of magical conversation at that point, right? So
doesn't seem like she would. And the words of Serpents actually come back to you guys. The scarecrow guy, he's like,
yeah,
when you deal with these hags, the price is always steep.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Dr. Crawford has the signet seal ring of him in his possession. A young boy named Payne.
I don't. If you're talking about the ring from the scarecrow, I don't believe I was the one who took that. I took the one from the hag.
The hag. She said it belonged to.
But it belonged to Payne. Yeah.
Excuse me. I thought there was 2 rings. Yeah. I'm dumb. So
there's a ring, and it belonged to a boy named Payne.
I'm all caught up in her deal right now, trying to make sure I'm not missing any details.
She still above the table. She is a dude.
I think we're screwing ourselves out of a good ending if we work with her. I'll say that right now.
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely.
And guys, above table, we just already got the conversation of being able to get a different soul. We may have to sacrifice one of ourselves to bring her out. She gave us the right to do it, but the last thing I got was exactly what we needed to hear about the apparatus, right? There's a thing inside the Ravenloft that I can make a person 2 people, or I can imprint a soul upon another soul. So if I could take Tatiana's soul and do the same thing and find our own way out, we can follow her same direction, but not using her well. That was my conversation earlier and stuff like that, right? So we can, I don't know where this is going in that regard, but that's definitely a better result than following her.
Here's the short answer to your question. Here is the above table is escalating quickly, and Rocky knows it. And he cannot wait.
I've already given my response. I'll let you guys.
Dr. Crawford has said absolutely not.
I don't even want to have this deal be made. I'll say that, and I'll actually say it in character. I would like to say, gentlemen, that I believe that this deal that we are currently conducting would fail to lift the curse on this land and would be basically eliminating our chances of actually implementing a proper lifting of the curse. I don't think we should be taking this deal.
You don't like my deal.
No, I think it's absolutely horrible.
Well, let me tell you what'll happen instead. I'll kill 2 of you and then let the other 2 scurry off like the little rats you are to do my bidding. So either one of you has the balls to volunteer yourself, or 2 of you are going to die.
You're going to keep escalating. This seems to be one of those great things. I'm exactly with Dr. Crawford, and I ain't taking anything from you.
Rogar, Nico?
Yeah, so I'm just going to stand up right now at the fireside next to the teapot.
Also,
And
Rocky, just a reminder, I didn't drink the tea.
I drank the tea.
It was
I
just
drank
tea.
the tea.
It was just tea.
It was disappointing. I'm gonna look at Baba Lygasa. I'm gonna say, this tea. I have had many teas, but this tea tasted the most like piss that I've ever had. And I must say that among the Vistani, the true troublemakers, I'm going to do my finger quotes, this would not even pass as mud. And I'm going to go ahead and jump off, if I can, Rocky, with a fairy fire on her, dude.
Wait, we gotta get Rogar's response.
I want to hear Rogar's response.
I've already got the loot out, though. I'm starting to pluck.
Got it.
So I don't care what Rogar has
Got
to
it.
say. It's happening.
But I do. I want to hear what he has to say. So let's
Here
give
we
him
go.
a chance to respond.
Here we go, Rogar.
Well, I don't think it matters what I say now, right?
It doesn't. Not at all.
It doesn't.
No.
I think he did that on purpose. Well, I mean, if I think Rogar would just say no deal.
This deal sucks, dude. That's across the board. This deal is terrible.
I would ask though, as he says no deal, like, would it not be possible just to get the well water and take it to her instead of all this other shenanigans of bringing her back?
No, you stupid lizard. You stupid adventurers. You stride into my land thinking that you're God's gifts to the people of Barovia. Let me tell you something, boys. You're just meat. And my creatures are hungry. And she jumps into the air about 30 feet and disappears into the trees. And then come crashing down is not her, but this giant pumpkin creature. And when she comes back down, she's inside of a floating skull.
She's got the Bowser floating.
This is awesome, dude. This is great.
Yes.
And normally we would roll initiative, but this is going to be the hardest combat we've ever done in this campaign, and it's going to take a while. So we're going to end tonight's session right here. And next session will start with initiative.
We can't back out now, guys. We have to get the book back. As soon as you gave it to her, I was just waiting to see what shenanigans you were gonna pull. And you got the scroll. Nice work. But
Yeah.
we need that book if we're going to.
Yeah, we gotta get the book back, dude.
Well,
I
again,
can't believe you traded it to her.
The
man.
only reason I gave it was because she had given us the information of what I'd already gotten, right? That a parrot thing, because I felt like it's something that we'd already moved forward with. And we've pulled a lot of info from it.
2 very important points. Number 1, I want you guys to study your characters and your combat abilities. You need to know what you can do in a fight, and it's been a long time, so you need to study up on that. Number 2, you're level 9 now, so be leveled up and ready to go.
That helps a good deal. So, we're not in a lose state yet, but Rocky's right. If she's stronger than a coven of hags, this is going to be a shit show. So
It's gonna be a problem.
Well, she's riding Bowser's shell, guys. Like, she's not going to be.
Yeah,
I'm
I
going to go
can't-
one step further to help you guys. So if you look at roll 20, I'm going to move you guys to the fight. So let me put you guys on the fight map. So you can now see what you're dealing with. And it's a huge map. So I'm going to, you know,
Dear God.
so you have her hut in the background. And then, well, actually, let me get rid of her. And it's now her. Oh, hold on. Let me get in the right layer. It's been forever since I've used this app. So hold on.
Well, for the record, I did not want to fight. For the record,
You never want to fight, dude.
You
never
just
wanna
don't
fight.
like just getting hit all the time, Rogo. I get it. It hurts, but like you're not gonna
He's-
die. We got you.
While he's setting stuff up, the reason I said that in character, gentlemen, is that I'm trying to make it possible for us to get some sort of good ending out of this campaign. I just didn't think we would accomplish that with her thing. That's why I said that.
Yeah,
If this
that deal
backfires on us and
sucked.
she kills us and TPKs us and ends the campaign, I'm sorry. That wasn't I didn't mean for that to happen. I was trying to help out. I recognize that I may have just fried us. I'm sorry if that happens. I hope you guys can forgive me.
Oh, let's take her out, guys. We got this. We don't need to
All
go and
Okay. So y'all feel free to log in to roll 20 whenever you want and look at the map, look at where you are. I'm going to leave you guys base here.
Okay.
This is the lay of the land. You've got the Pumpkin King and Baba Lygasa in a flying skull about 30 feet up. We'll roll initiative beginning of next session, and then we'll see what happens.
Sounds good, man.
But level up to level 9. I'm sure me and Zach can help anybody that needs help figuring anything out.
I
No
can
problem.
Yeah.
I can explain how the mechanics as they're printed, but ultimate ruling goes to Rocky. So if he, yeah,
Well, I appreciate it. Look, I'm just super happy to be playing with you guys again.
likewise.
Yeah,
yes,
it's
can
a
I
good
say what
time.
a wonderful joy it is to see you guys again. I hope we can do it again soon. Can we do next week?
I'm good if everybody else is good.
I'm good
I'll be
too.
good probably.
Next
Please.
week's a good time to die.
All right. Well, sounds like next Sunday, boys.
All right, boys.
All
See
right.
ya.
Y'all have a good night.
You too, man.
Night, guys.
See ya.